Incoming Secretary of State nominee Tony Blinken admitting to some of the successes achieved by the Trump administration on foreign policy. Correspondent Jillian Turner takes a look at some of the major happenings of the last 4 years, things viewed by the president's supporters as major accomplishments, and by his detractors as something else.
We achieved more than anyone thought possible.
President Trump before today has stayed largely silent on the topic of his own legacy, but top officials have not. Vice President Pence touting national defense over the weekend.
We've rebuilt our military. We've restored the arsenal of democracy.
Today, the Secretary of State making a major move to lock in gains made against China's government, formally accusing the Communist Party of genocide on the world stage.
The Chinese Communist Party has committed these crimes against humanity.
It's a continuation of the Trump administration's push to hold China accountable for the coronavirus pandemic and the trade war that has cost the U.S. economy over $300 billion.
China's pattern of misconduct is well known.
Across the Arabian Sea, political experts tell Fox News it's the Abraham Accords, the foundation steps for Mideast peace that will cement the Trump administration's foreign policy legacy.
It's just remarkable to have 4 Muslim nations, 3 Arab nations, enter into peace agreements with Israel, joining Egypt and joining Jordan. It's a sea change in the Middle East.
The Accords are one of the rare Trump-era policy achievements the incoming Biden team plans to keep, declaring in September they will build on these steps. Here at home, the signature accomplishment of the Trump administration in the eyes of the president's own team is the pre-COVID economy, the strongest the U.S. had seen in nearly 3 decades, according to the Wall Street Journal. Poverty tumbled, and America's least skilled workers saw significant wage increases. President Trump attributes this in large part to sweeping deregulation across industries.
For every 1 new regulation issued, we pledged that 2 federal regulations would be permanently removed.
The jewel in the Trump administration's crown of domestic achievements just may be the appointment of a record-breaking number of federal judges across the country, including 54 appellate judges and 3 Supreme Court justices who will determine American jurisprudence for decades to come. Another signature achievement to track over the coming decades is the creation of Space Force, which relaunched America into the 21st century space race. While President Trump will depart 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue tomorrow under the cloud of impeachment, he will leave behind a clear policy record and take with him an 87% approval rating among Republicans.